I cut down my beautiful sunflowers. Not the ones in the back, but I cut down the front ones. They're really just about done. There's a couple little small buds on them, but they're done. They are. There's all my stuff I gotta rake up. Chop some of my cantaloupe vines out. Harvested a few cucumbers and a couple Anaheims before they got red. Just working out in the garden, enjoying nature and the space outside. It's beautiful, peaceful, quiet. Flowers are beautiful. Let me zoom in a bit. So they're just pretty and peaceful. The camera really don't do them justice. They're so pretty. Let me go up a little and show you. See, they're so pretty. I've been doing a lot of work in the garden. It's starting to wind down. The cucumbers look scraggly. The cantaloupe looks scraggly. I've picked a couple. One looked like bugs got into it, and the other one I just want to make sure nothing happened to it, and I picked that, and I'm letting it ripen up. Oh, I couldn't get more lucky. Can you believe that? I couldn't get more lucky. Look at that. That's just beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for letting me see something so pretty. It makes me happy. I'm afraid to get close because it's going to fly away. Don't fly away. Let's get a little bit closer. Oh, look at it. So beautiful. Well, hello there. Good morning. I see you like my tasty flowers. They're all for you. Yes, they are. I planted all my flowers hoping to attract butterflies and hummingbirds and all the bees. So I'm pretty happy when I get to see one. Yeah, I'm pretty happy. This is sweet. Look how beautiful he is, or she. I really don't know. But look at that, up close and personal. That is just so nice. Okay, where you going? Where's he going? Oh, he likes the cosmos. Let's go check him out. Oh, back over here. I hope I have lots of things that you like. Back on the same flower. I think you're confused. Or you're just posing for me. But you're beautiful. Yes, you are. Oh, my goodness. I am too happy. I'm trying not to disturb him or her too much. Oh, I am just so happy. You can't even wait for a shot like that. How lucky am I, I love my garden so much. I'm so happy. It makes me peaceful. Ladies, if you need to get peace in your life, get you a garden. Get you a garden. And sit out and talk to your maker. Talk to the birds, the animals. You know, do something nice for yourself. That's what I did. I got the grandkids in. They've been doing their homeschooling, and I made lunch already. They did their homework. Now I'm just out harvesting a few cucumbers, cutting down a few vines, you know, getting a little work in. Ain't no harm in working. Keep you young. Yeah, because don't let this gray hair fool you. This little girl is a young one, and I like to have fun. Yes. So, I'm really liking that. I'm really liking that butterfly. I can't stop thinking about it. Making me too happy. So if you remember, I had 2 cantaloupes growing here. I cut one down because it had some spots in it. And it wasn't ripe, so we just opened it up to look at it, make sure nothing was wrong with it. But we didn't eat it. We cut it, and we have another one in the house, which I'll show you in a minute. So here's the larger one from the other side that I picked, and I'm not sure if it's all the way ripe because some of it is still a little green. So I'm letting it ripen off the vine. Here's a few of my red tomatoes, some that are changing And my green tomatoes. Notice I have one eggplant, and I'm not altogether sure it's supposed to be bigger than this, but that's the color it turned, and the other one's still green. Here's the morning glories in the morning, looking really nice. They're not as full as they once were, but they're still producing every morning. Here's the cosmos. This hollyhock still hasn't flowered, or the lupine, maybe next year, because they are perennial. And there's still a few random wildflowers growing, but not many. Look at this little coleus all by itself. So cute. I harvested all the yellow tomatoes from the yellow pear tomato plant in the pot. These are new ones that are growing. And as you can see, I still have cucumbers growing, but things are starting to get sparse. They're thinning out. I've cut a lot of leaves out to promote the cucumber growth. I've got a lot of them. And I pick them when they're still pretty small, so they don't have big, hard seeds. But once I go to save seeds for next year, I will let them get as big as they can for the best seeds. These are my pepper plants on the outside. They are just starting to produce. But inside, I have a lot. This is my random tomato plant from out back. I have a couple of little things going on out here. I picked some of them already, and I know I still have to make fried green tomatoes for you guys. So that I still have to do. You see my little makeshift way for the cucumbers to go across the top of the peppers? It's working. I think there was one vine that got cut and shriveled up, but it's producing cucumbers, so I'm happy with it. I need to make pickles too. That might be another video, but I just haven't done it yet. I don't have the right containers to put my pickles in. I've done a lot of deadheading to collect seeds, and I'm going to show you that real quick too. Here are the flowers outside. I'm going to give you a little update over here. And even though there's a few weeds growing back in, fall is on its way tough here in Ohio. So these are my 4 o'clocks that I planted. Look at how beautifully they spread out. The coleus, it's doing well. And then the other set of 4 o'clocks over here. And the bean plant, of course. But look over here at the 4 o'clocks in the garden. This camera doesn't even do justice to how beautiful those flowers are. They are so pretty. Standing over here on the opposite side of the garden is a couple of cantaloupes that are growing since I cut the other ones down. If you remember, the other one was right here, and that's the one I showed you in the kitchen. So this thing has gotten spread out pretty thin too. It's looking scraggly, but it's still feeding these cantaloupes. So I'm praying for enough days for it to come to full maturity, because I'm so impatient. I've cut them beforehand, either because they have spots on them or because of some other reason, you know. But I want these to grow nicely, because this is my first year getting this many cantaloupe. And hold on. I said I wanted to show you some of my seeds, and so far these are my sunflower plant seeds, and I have more to get. I threw some of my heads away because they got molded. I tried to dry them all together, and it was too much for them during the humid days. So these are the dry seeds that I was able to capture. And as you see, it's quite a bit, more than what I got in my seed packets. And over here, I started collecting zinnia seeds. Cobwebs galore. In here we have marigold seeds. And in this big pot I have a lot of wildflower seeds, like the cosmos. Now let me take you inside the garden so you can see some of the things in there. So it looks even worse from the inside, but there are still things happening. There's another little cantaloupe starting. You see how scarce the cucumber vines really are, but they're still producing also. I started chopping and dropping to feed my garden for next year. I'm letting these mesclun green lettuce go to seed, and the arugula. And the leaf lettuce over here. I don't know if you can see this. Leaf lettuce here. That's all going to seed. Now, remember how I showed you the kale looking really pretty and beautiful? Well, the white butterfly, the evil white butterfly, mind you, has totally ate it into a skeleton. And for the most part, it hasn't been touching this mustard green. So whatever looks good on here, I'm going to be harvesting this and making it. But it didn't touch the mustard as much. But it ate all of the Russian kale and all of the dino kale. Back here in the back, I have jalapeno plants. This was my strawberry pot. I don't think I'll have anything this year. I think next year I will get strawberries. But coming over here to the jalapeno, I've already picked several jalapenos from here. So as you can see, it's doing pretty well. And the red peppers here in the back of them are getting very tall. And I did notice, hold on, let me see if I can find them for you. I did notice it did have 1 or 2 peppers really small growing on it. Hang on. Okay, I found it. There's my first red pepper. So they have begun. My sunflowers have all but drooped. I will be cutting these down with, and beheading the seeds or getting the seeds out of them very soon. This one and that one's just about all the way gone. I don't have any more squash plants, and I told you I would show you how beautiful the forget-me-nots are in my garden. Aren't those just exquisitely beautiful? I just love them. They're so pretty. And I'm hoping to have more next year. Maybe even on the other side where I can't get anything but weeds to grow. I think I would love to have these. And here's a little bit better shot, of my lettuce going to seed. Would you look at all these peppers? That's just on one little branch that is hanging down. All those. And there's even more on the inside. I have to step around the garden a bit. There's a few growing here, starting out. But as you get to the back, you'll see there's more. I've picked a lot of these already, but I've left a few to get big and turn red. I've been impatient. I've been picking them and eating them. But I want some to turn red to see how the flavor changes. Look at that. That's a nice big one right there. You see that? I have a lot of them. And even more growing over here. So the sun is kind of blinding me, but hopefully not you. So it's doing fairly well. Remember the little eggplant I showed you that was yellow? Well, this is how it starts out, this color. And I thought it was going to be like a cream white color with purple, but it turned out yellow with purple. So that's what it looks like before it gets yellow. And I assume that they stay that small because it didn't get very big, and this one doesn't look like it will either. And my tomatoes still producing, you know, turning red, not a lot, but producing, doing well. I'm pleased. We'll see how much we get by the time it gets really, really cold. Hold on, I'm going to give you... And this is my jalapeno pot. And I've harvested quite a few jalapenos from it. They don't get as big as when they're in the ground. There's one here, if you can see it. I don't know. And then, let's see, let's look back in here a bit. You can see a few growing. Let me look around. There's some here. I don't know if you can see that or not. Let's pull this one up a bit and see if you can see it. There. See, they're small. They get a little bit fatter than this. But they don't get much longer than that. They just get fatter. So yeah, the pepper pot's doing pretty good, even though it's cold. Overall, I'm pretty happy with my garden. And I'm already making plans for next year's garden to make it more spectacular. I definitely want to do corn next year. I'm giving you a little quick look around in the morning. It's very beautiful. You know, I could have some better grass, but I'm happy with my garden. It makes things so much more beautiful. Even out my windows in my house, I can sit out and look at this beautiful scenery right here. And it's beautiful. I love it. That concludes my recent garden tour.